Okay, here we go. Welcome, episode 9 of the official Arbroath FC podcast. Usual suspects are with me. Jamie, to my right, how are you doing?
Hello guys,
Merry
good
Christmas.
to be here. Merry Christmas, mate.
To my left, Fermer. How you doing, Fermer?
Fantastic, thanks. Merry Christmas to you guys.
He's letting Carl still get his jacket on.
Feel Carl sitting next to Rab, he's usually in shorts.
and on that, we've got the main man himself, the cat. Big Rab Douglas, how are you, sir?
Alright, I can't believe we've got this on when the darts are still ready to start. But
We'll be done before then, don't worry.
We'll race through this.
Carry on, come on, suits.
We'll speak about that a wee bit as well. Thanks very much for joining us. Merry Christmas to you as well, mate.
Same yourselves.
We normally kick this off with a review of the game, so we've got football games and dart games to review today because you've mentioned them. I might as well kick it off. Do you want to start with the footballer suits?
I'll start with the fitba, get my bit over and done with.
Right, let's do it.
And I'll wait for a hit for Rab.
3 games.
Dunfermline,
In the
5-1. I was helping to commentate that night as well. Cold night. Again, well, it's a story of a season. No, just perfect against them. I thought we were lacking a wee bit in midfield that game. A lot of new starts played in that game. There's no point in going down that road too further. I just my opinion. I suggest that some of them will probably no be here after the new year. Happens.
Yeah.
I think we said about that one the better.
I believe a couple are away already, actually.
Yeah, it's. I've got no joy out of that game, to be fair.
So one, sometimes you get that, and
yeah, it's one of these things. It happens. Wraith, fantastic away day again. Good crack. 1-1 score. I thought that we were certainly a lot better. I thought there was some good things going in that game. I didn't think Wraith were very, very good. Rab might think different. I didn't think Wraith were very good, but I thought we come on. It was really good to see Scotty Stewart getting a go there. So nothing bad against that game. I thought we could have maybe gotten something out of it, but I don't know. It was probably a fair result. And then again another Friday night game under the lights there just before Christmas. Possibly not the best start to our Christmas.
Shocking weather, shocking night.
Horrendous conditions. I've been pulled up already for having a wee go at the goalkeeper for kicking it, but I'm still going to stand by it. I still think that sometimes
Fermer, one of these days I'm going to take you out there into the wind and see how far you can kick it.
I think today's a good day for
I think it's a great start. I think we should just get out and get the cameras out there. Get Fermer in the shorts and goalie gloves on.
Absolutely.
Into the wind, let's see where they go.
Fermer was a goalie these days.
What are you suggesting throwing it out or just kicking it
I
on the
think
ground?
that,
What are you actually saying?
I think it's sometimes we tend to ging for the big kick. Now I understand what Rab's saying. I'm just giving an opinion of what I'm seeing. Sometimes I think we should maybe although I'm getting criticised for blaming Cammy, I think the whole context of that conversation, I was actually having a go at our own players for no coming back to help him when he was trying to get the big kick out.
To give him options.
I think you look at one of the ones for the other night that Marcel was 32, 33 yards out, passed it back to Cammy smashed it and it's went 28 yards. Yeah. So it's probably on for Marcel just to take the onus and put it up the line. Yeah. Things like that. You've seen goalies come up here every year
and get caught out.
No used to the conditions. That's Cammy's own second game, and Gats has changed his kicking. Gats has improved as a kicker up here with the conditions. You know, it's not as easy as everybody makes out. But again, at 0-0, I wouldn't be wanting my fullbacks to come back and get the ball when if we'd got to half time against Queen's Park, it would have been good.
39 minutes, it was a fairly even game.
Hindsight's a wonderful
It wasn't even bad at 1-0, 2-0. I didn't think it was that bad, to be fair. I actually thought we could have taken something out of it because against the wind, with the wind, I thought we'd be a lot better. So, but again, happens.
I think looking at it, the Dunfermline one, we had to see players to see if they could improve the team.
Of course.
That's done and dusted. We're at the cup. It was and then you look at the Wraith
maybe
game.
A worthwhile gamble, though. Do you think? Put them in, see what happens.
You wouldn't have changed as many probably for a league game unless you were decimated with illness or injury. Yeah. But I think to be fair to the players, you had to give them the opportunity to see if they could shine. Okay. And then Wraith, I thought we were a better team. I thought we could have won it, we could have lost it. Gats made a great save late on. I thought, on hindsight, the boys at the back room in Wraith said that probably we deserved a win. I thought it was more like us from last year. It was more like Scott Stewart just getting put on is the way it should be. Yeah. You know, he's then not got to think about You know, he's had his injury woes and that, and he's going to be a big player coming back for us at the turn of the year. And
Absolutely.
it was actually good for him to get game time the other night as well. So that's the pluses I'm looking at as well. You know, so let's just kick on to the turn of the year.
And it is about looking forward. But just before we talk about the Dundee game, how frustrating is it for you on the sidelines? Can't do anything except shout.
All you can do is encourage him. Listen, I've been a goalie of big crowds, small crowds. I started at Meadowbank. Games used to get put off for dog shows in the council stadium. It was, honestly.
I didn't think shows was where you were
big
going
crowds
there.
and small, big crowds and small crowds. Especially when the goalie, you make a mistake, it's the loneliest place. Sometimes the boys just need a wee hand out there. Last year, the support, everything was unbelievable. And I know we've all got expectancy levels and we all want to do well. Sometimes it's just not happened this year, and that's up to us to try and address it, which we're in the process of doing from now till the end of the window. But again, it's just, there's no point in hammering them because they just go into a shell. You know, it's getting the best out of keeping them going. Look at Wraith. I think we could have went on to win the game later on. Second half, I thought we started magnificent, and that was more like the Arbroath last year. You know, everybody goes on to last year. You look, your three strikers were all lone strikers that scored all the goals, or the majority of the goals. You know, you're competing against clubs like Dundee and Inverness, and even Dunfermline are still full-time clubs like that. Financially, you can't really match them.
Yeah, we've spoken about this before.
You've got to try and cherry pick one or two and try and get them to enhance your squad. So.
And what about in training? Is confidence lowered? What do you change
at all.
things? Do you stand by your beliefs? Do you try different things?
You see the boys in training. The way they train's a credit. You know, we're sitting second bottom, and it's not a great place to be. Nobody wants to be down there. They knock their panning in training, which is a great thing to see. You know, they're competitive in the games. They're getting stuff. You know, and that's what you want to see.
Yeah.
If they didn't bother, I would be worried then.
Yeah.
But the fact that they go and, you know, whether it's runs, whether it's passing drills, whether it's shooting, they get at it, and that's. I think you've got 2 nights. The way I look at it, and I was part-time years ago as well. You've got 2 nights. You've got to get the best out of them in the 2 nights. You've got to work them hard and make them enjoy it, and that's been the basis of our success over the years as well. Yeah. And there's a good bunch here. You know, the main core of the team's still there, so we've just got to get it back and get it ticking over. And
so there's still good spirits and all that. Yeah.
Listen, I think as soon as we get a win under our belts and get off and running, you'll see a different Arbroath. It's just lacking that wee bit, probably confidence in front of the goal now as well.
On the confidence thing, I've seen them in training a few times. Do you think that sometimes, because I see them doing things in training, and then they get the ball on the pitch and they tend to be a little bit hesitant? You think there's a little bit of fear, especially how things is not going right for them just now, and maybe no wanting to take the man on like they maybe used to?
Maybe in the different areas. You know, you're not want to lose the ball in our half. The gaffers always encourage them, especially in the opposition half, just to go. Bobby's the prime example. You hear us encouraging Bobby, get at them, keep going. But in your own half's a different. You know, I think one of the goals recently we lost was from our free kick, Queen's Park. You know, things like that summed up the amount of own goals, injuries, suspensions. It's not excuses. We've not got a massive squad as it is. So, on the grand scheme of things, there'll probably be a few leaving and plenty more coming in to add to the squad to give us a bit more strength, a bit more depth, more options. So, time will tell. Watch this space. Barry Sellers.
Any inside info on this and coming in January? Fermer's going to throw a few names at you, I think.
Fermer's not going to throw any.
I'll show my poker face. Right, Fermer.
What's some of the names I've heard? I'll go on and we'll go start with Mark McNulty. His name has been kicked about.
I think his name's been bandied about a few times. Wee Griffiths was another one. Griffiths came in and trained. Sparky was at Dundee with me. He needs to get back playing. I'm led to believe he's down at Fleetwood, I think Goldie said. Right, Goldie keeps in touch with him. But again, it might not be the package that he's looking for, what we're offering. But sometimes players have got to step down to step back up, whether it's Mark McNulty, whether it's Lee Griffiths, you know. So that's been a name thrown about for a while, but I think he's meant to be going to America as far as I'm aware.
Is he not taking the place of that guy Rooney? Because he just lost a fuse, did he?
I saw
when
that.
You see that one.
Yeah, red card.
That was mental.
I've only got other names. Baldy.
I've heard Baldy as well.
He's five, I think.
Hibs, but he was loaned down.
That was a name bandied about as well, so we'll wait and see in that one.
I liked him when he played against us. I thought he was decent.
When you think about, we've done well with loans and signings for East Fife, in fairness.
Chifty, is that how you pronounce it? That was another one.
What?
Chifty or something?
Chief, you Dundee United.
Yeah.
I've not heard that one.
No heard. Well, actually, I did hear that for a journalist, but that was as far as it went. So,
Spoonie's a hell of a lad.
well, actually, wasn't it?
His show will be better again. His next podcast will be better. His next article will be better than we're listening here.
He's got an exclusive this week about Suits putting on his socks. So
How many sugars he takes in his tea?
the only thing he's not done. So it's
You give him an awful hard time. You can't. But I'll
he's a
tell you
good
one
lad.
thing. In his fairness, since he's come back on to journalism, he's raised the profile of every Angus club again. They're all getting
He's
more.
very,
more
he's
stories. He's
very
active.
now.
He does a good
I'll
job.
tell you a story about him. He worked with his son, and we were at Dundee. And at Dundee, it was Eddie Annan, James Grady, Barry Smith. They all used to travel up together. Steve McCormick. So it was the birthday. You get covered in shoe polish, put in ice bath, held under. You couldn't do it now, right? Strip, whatever, right? So Ewan comes up. He messaged the Glasgow boys. Can we get Eddie Annan's birthday or James Grady's? He came up. Boys got a hold of him. He gets stripped. He get covered in shoe polish.
he's kept this quiet.
By the way, he still due me a pair of Nike Air Max. They were home in training kit. So wee Willie Miller was there.
No way he's fitting your shoes.
Mine Willie Miller was at Hibs, the wee right back. So Willie says, "Geez, your suit, I'll dry it." Willie takes it, puts it in a tumble dryer, brings it out and cuts the sleeves and legs off it. He went inside and the kids had let his tyres down as well.
Oh, he says, there you go, Ewan. We're getting all the scoops new, man.
It's a Rab Douglas exclusive.
Oh, there you go.
That's what we're wanting. We're more of that. Forget the podcast.
Absolutely. Especially if it's Suits. If it's Spoonie, sorry. He was down, he's obviously down in London just now, but with Suits, I was down with Paul and Johnny and stuff like that, watching the game there. Incredible. I thought he was done for at 2-0 down.
He never got a sniff.
No, the boy was on fire, and then he got that one big check out, and it was like the wheels came off, and he got his sort of second
He
win.
certainly hits a big check out.
Oh, I.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
He's got the
I
balls,
think
does he?
when he was down, you're going 2-0. Any chance he's starting turning it on? You know, so
The 1-5-2.
what a great example for us though, as a group,
Aye.
players and management. Is look at Suits. You know, he's almost dead and buried, and he
Keeps
comes
coming
back.
back.
Keeps coming back.
It's never beat.
Listen, I think you'll see. You'll get to start seeing more of the boys getting back at it, and hopefully Scott Stewart is one of the ones. Dylan Tate, I don't think his injuries is bad, so
Was he
he'll be
not?
back. No,
Right,
so
okay.
that's another one. You know.
It was a strange one at the game, because when he was lying in the ground, it looked really, really bad. And I'm sure I've seen him jumping up.
He got up and tried a couple of jumps. I don't know if he knew if it was his knee, his ankle, his foot, or it. I think that's Dylan. No, I think.
Is Mason done completely for the season?
I think Mason got a bad. I think he's the knob. He got a bad
ACL,
one.
innit?
So, but you know, and to be fair, last couple of games Mason came on, I thought he did really, really well for us. Inverness away in one of the other ones, but he's a young boy as well, and it's just a shame he got injured in a development game for Aberdeen or whatever it was, you know, because he gives you a bit of balance on the left side, certainly.
He comes highly recommended. A lot of the Aberdeen boys and fans
rave about him.
very highly about him, like you can. So.
With Oakley, I think he's been a shining light for us. Do we know what's happening with him? Is he staying for the next 6 months?
I
Or we
have
don't know
no
yet?
idea. I think there's talks are
Still in
ongoing.
talks.
I didn't even know he was up in January, so hopefully he stays. Great wee guy, good wee player as well.
His agent was up before Christmas, so I'm hoping that's what they were talking about.
just-
but-
He's one that will definitely benefit, I think, for Scotty Stewart coming back into the squad. Because again, sometimes through no fault of Hartman's, again, sometimes he looks a wee bit isolated at the back here. But Scotty Stewart up on that side there with Mahel, I think will be a big difference. Like,
I think we've missed Scotty. You know, Scotty's a powerhouse. Keep saying if he could add a few more goals to his game, he'd be a massive player. As big a player he is for us, you just want him to add some goals. Mind you, when I do the layoffs, I'm not sure about his shooting sometimes. He says it's my layoffs, I say it's his shooting.
We've got the Dundee game coming up.
aye, really looking forward to it.
It's our derby now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Massive game. Again, a few Arbroath fans it's actually going to be in the Dundee end because they get complimentary tickets and they don't want to give Dundee their money. That's how fickle fitba fans are. But no, I'm looking forward. I'm in hospitality that day. I bought it at the. Well, it's a Pideen though. I bought it at the Arbroath Golf Day. So I'm in hospitality with
Is
that.
Hospital Man with you?
No, from Kevy the idiot. the wife and Carl for tutties. So we'll do it. But I'm looking forward to that game. They're flying, and I'm really looking forward to. There's nothing better than a team flying and a team struggling, and the team struggling going out and doing the business.
To me, that's a freebie.
Exactly.
That's a free hit.
Yeah,
You're absolute underdogs. Dundee will be, and be fair to Gary Bauer, they've hit the ground running the last probably 8-9 games. I don't think he knew his best team for a period. I think he's now got almost his starting, without injuries. He knows his best team, and be fair, I think that's him unbeaten in 9 or something. But again, nothing better than going to the bigger stadiums, the bigger crowds. Go and enjoy yourself. Go and put a show on. Just go and enjoy yourself.
That's exactly right.
Give it your all, and if I'm quite sure. I think the boys will be up for it on Monday.
Obviously, the transfer window's open by then. Without asking about names and that, is there any chance a new face has been in by that time? Do you know?
I think knowing the gaffer, you can bet your bottom dollar on that. I think you can safely say that.
That's a yes.
So are we knowing smirk? I hope the cameras picked that up.
That was my poker face.
It must be a good one as well.
Listen. I think everybody's aware of some of the boys' contract durations and that, and there'll be incomings and outgoings. You can't be daft to say, "Oh no."
Everybody knows it's
exactly. If there's no. I don't think there'll be a few complaints going about. So, but the gaffer's addressing that. Let's say that, and then we'll go. And we'll look forward to Dundee. That's for sure.
Just when you say about complaints and things like that, we've asked the players how it makes them feel, but you're obviously a lot closer to the fans. When you hear some of the disgruntled, you're always going to get the odd, one. How does that make you feel? Do you brush it off quite easily?
No, not particularly, to be honest. No, listen. I came and I remember the gaffer, it was the old chairman, and the gaffer was going to bring us in, and it didn't happen, and I ended up sitting on the bench for one cup game and helping out, and JR was still here, and I kind of came in after JR passed away, and it's been nothing but success. It's almost, you're probably in the elite leagues that have won, going constantly unbeaten, getting in runs, winning away from home regularly.
Sorry, you mean since you arrived it's been successful?
With the gaffer, what you're saying. No with me, no with me. With the gaffer and Pink and Youngie and JR, God bless him, and the group of players. You look League 2, League 1, staying in the Championship last year, unbelievable. And for me, the biggest thing, you're entitled to your opinion, and nobody's always going to agree. The biggest thing for me is seeing all the younger ones bought into it in the whole community, the wee ultras and them all with their hats and scarves and shirts on. It's great to see, rather than them going away to watch one of the Premier League teams or one of the teams in England, or it's just great to see for me. And I think that's you get the next batch of lifelong Arbroath fans committed to the club, and we'll turn it around this year, that's for sure. So
the young ultras the other night here, they're fantastic. Granted, you can't hear anything that's going on for the drum, but it's great to see them, and you get a wee bit of banter with them. They're loving it. We said to them, because there's been a wee bit of bad press. Some of them said they were giving my guy a hard time. We was kind of wee laugh at them, and away fans love it. And now there's nothing better than a wee bit of verbal banter across the terraces, So.
Do you notice the difference when you're obviously you've played in front of 60,000-70,000, but you can hear individual voices out there now?
Probably know some of the people.
Is that the difference?
Don't look at me.
That's what we're looking at.
Because you're getting abuse at Ibrox, but it's by thousands. But here you're probably hearing individual. Basically, you're hearing the Fermer.
No, you don't know.
I think if you hear anything, it's Northern Hospitality after a couple of sherbets. Listen, I'm entitled to their opinion. And we're actively looking to address it and improve it, and that's the one thing the gaffer's done everywhere he's went. So if there's anything he can do, it's the gaffer, that's for sure. And Pink and Youngie have got years of experience. I've obviously come in, I'm just a young one to go to Magaluf to bring the average age down. But no, they're a great bunch, and be fair, you're included in everything, and you take the praise, and nobody likes criticism. The players love praise. Last year was unique. That was for a part-time club. You got to remember, you're 15 minutes away. We miss a chance at 1-0 against Kilmarnock. We miss a reasonable chance. You're 15 minutes away from possibly winning a league or going up. And then you've got to remember, your boys have done half a shift before you've played Kilmarnock, when they've been in a daybed all day in a hotel. That's reality. That's part-time. And that's where you've got to think how close you were and be realistic about this year, expectancy levels, etc. But you get the odd shout in the stand, but the majority are still so positive. They just want to see the club do well and the team get back to winning ways, and that'll start turn of the year. We're training tomorrow morning, and then we'll get a Dundee game, and then we get kick on for there.
They tend to shout more in Bayern Bovril and forums on the do. I'm not a big fan. I don't like personal abuse to players. You've heard me going about
keyboard
that.
Warriors.
I don't like that, and because there's me being caught out saying I go at the goalkeeper. So which I'm smart like here, like but no, again, I don't like the personal abuse, and I heard somewhat. I was a wee bit of it going on again on Friday night. Aye, I mean Scotty we were trying. The good thing is the young Alters was hiding a lot of it. But some of the shouts is no good. But I suppose when you put yourself out there, the guys are doing. There has got to be, as Rab says, you're going to be good shouts and bad shouts, and you just have to
take a mix. Take a mix. Nobody listen. Everybody likes praise at their work. Nobody likes criticism, to be honest. And you just got to get on with it. When you're a goalie, you've got skin like a rhino. So
see on you
when you're standing with it all coming behind you.
When you're at full time and that, you're analysing games. I was on about bringing back to Spoonie. I was on about his stats, we suits and that of the day. When you guys is doing your coach, you'll know how time to sit with the players, Rob, and do a move by move, but analyse each
video analysis. You don't part time. You struggle unless you're eating into your warm up, or you're eating into your passing drills, your runs. You're eating into your shooting. You're eating into your games. You've not maybe in a match day you could probably bring them up, but you're then getting them out the house even earlier.
Right.
You know, and the last thing you want to do is be negative before you start a game.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just one of these ones where, if anything, the manager and Pinkin will all watch a game or the highlights back, and you can always go to them and say during training. But to have them standing about on a cold training night in Perth or whatever, you know, it's no ideal. Right. And that's a part-time scenario again. You know,
you've got to make them look forward to the training, don't you?
I'd sometimes join in with the goalies, and that's all I want them to do is work hard, enjoy it, and be ready for a Saturday. And to be fair, I'm blessed this year with the two goalies. They've been absolutely brilliant for me, and I feel sorry for Cammy. Gats has been a steady Eddie, probably one of Arbroath's most steadiest players since he came here, and Cammy's come in and lost 9, and I think he feels a little bit deflated. But I see what Cammy does in training every week in the gaffer and all that. See it, and it's not on Cammy, you know, it's on a team. You know, you win and lose a team. You take the credit and you take the criticism.
Two great saves, which I said before. Again, not getting a game last season, and then still to be highly alert and do that saves that he did on Friday night again. That's showing that he's a keeper. Like,
it could have been 5 or 6, 7.
I don't think the goalies had anything to do with much of the goals, or if any at all. I would say.
How is Gats?
Fine,
is he back? From injury, right?
He was ill.
I was illness rather than injury, so, right? Okay.
He's back. They were training the other night, and we'll train tomorrow. So look forward to it.
It's great to see football back in general. Not just in Arbroath. We've had the World Cup there. I know you're probably sitting there fairly smug. We did have a little bit of a prediction right at the start of the World Cup. Argentina.
Tell you.
Came out the farmer's mouth.
I'm not sitting here for my looks.
No, that's true.
That's very true.
It was an absolutely brilliant World Cup. Forget all the hype and all the bad press that we're getting for. For me, it was just brilliant. Smart teams coming up and getting them big teams again. Making it interesting for the Joe public to watch. Superb.
You get to watch a lot of it.
I watched some of them. I think the final's one of the best games I've seen in years. You know, end to end, just Mbappe, Messi. If I was a betting man, which I'm not, believe it or not, we're not allowed to, but I don't anyway, I would have a couple of quid in France to win the next one though, because they've got a good young team.
Well, when you see who was missing from their squad in this World Cup,
it's
pretty amazing. Like,
but I mean, just for Messi to go and do it, that was
all written in the stars,
wasn't it?
It's pretty cool. Like,
one of the things we were talking about, I don't know if you've got an opinion on it, but Croatia recently have always been at the back end of tournaments. They're a smaller country than Scotland. Yeah. What are they doing that we aren't doing?
I don't know, but we need to start bottling their water anyway, because it's you look at Modric and that, you know, he honestly when he was in the Euros in Scotland, you know, he ran the show. But the way he keeps the ball so composed, you know, I don't know how he would do in Arbroath on a Friday night, let him buy kicks here, Fermer.
What would you change about Scottish football at that youth level to make either more people get involved in it, or to to make what comes out of at the other end just that different.
I think your big problem is first of all the cost of pitches, referees. You drive by now, there's nobody on the pitches. You know, obviously generations have changed now. It's phones, iPads, tablets, Xboxes. Where before, listen, you can say what you want. Your mum used to shout you in at 9 o'clock for your Sunday night
That's right.
jumpers for goalposts, but it's just worrying that you don't see them playing as much. On the other hand, slight contradiction myself. I was driving through Arbroath Ferry the other week, and there was loads of kids turning up. Must be a soccer camp on a Saturday. Wee kids, you know, like a lot younger than before I started. I think I kind of started about 8. But these kids are 4, 5 and 6. It's great to see in that aspect. But I just don't know if there's going to be an end product for them when it gets to 12, 13, 14, 15.
That's the problem.
18 into amateur. You know, I went under 18s to amateur. I was in the second team at Simon. They had a great wee set up. They had their own clubhouse, floodlit training park. You know, it was in a hill, but it was still decent. But there's not a lot of them are quick enough to put the pitches off, and the cost of them. Where Simon funded it themselves, which is key for me.
I think you're hitting it nail on the head with the age. Once they get to 10, 11, 12, then the interest, just other things become more interesting.
Sometimes I think it's maybe too structured. I maintain it. We don't allow them kids to flare. We're tucking them in. You see them being trained. I've watched Kev Middleton. There's my next boat sponsorship deal. He's training. They're going again. I think a lot of the time you need to let them just relax, because I was watching highlights. They did some documentary about Brazil and Argentina. They're playing in bits of square pitches next to an industrial zone, and they're just out playing fitba. They're trying other flicks and kicks, letting them develop. Once they get a wee bit older, they can do that, because I've no played at the levels of Arbroath. Wait for Rab here, dig at me again.
Lads club.
Aye, but I play at a level, but there's a hell of a difference in jump for schools and amateur Sunday league and everything up to the next level, and we need to players to adapt and a wee bit of flair and want to play football. Kind of knock it out of them.
Well, you've got to try and get them at playing that. You know, it's in January and February. And a lot of kids, when they get to 12-year-old, they're not wanting to go out in that.
They'll sit in first.
They'll go on PS4.
Well, you hit it earlier on. You used the right word, poverty. When we were bairns, that's what you did. You played out in the streets. You played football. You threw the ball off the curb. You put your jackets down. Nowadays, they'll not throw their £100 jacket down in the ground as a goalpost, like, will they? Yeah. So maybe that. I don't know, but I do think. Also, as well, football's changed a lot as years. We've said, you used to play German style football when you played German. They're now all integrated. That's maybe no suiting us in Scotland so well as it maybe did. I don't know.
I just think it's going to be a tough nut to crack to get the kids out there playing and keep interested.
But World Cup now, what's happened in the World Cup? You look at football. Arbie will be playing football now for a wee while. Arbie will be playing darts for a wee while. So the mere stars that we have got. I mean, Bobby Lynn, I'll just use Bobby Lynn. Arbie wants to be the next Bobby Lynn for Arbroath now. That's superb. So we just need to focus on it, and if we can keep the success on the pitch right, we'll be alright. Let's forget about in the last 6 months, because that's no normal for us. But we're still punching way above our weight. So
is youth football still played in the winter? Is that still played like
from
August to April?
I don't know.
Because I think that needs to change. Get them out in the summer, you know.
Yeah, but they're not, once they've signed for a club, they're not allowed to play football.
They're not. If they sign senior, you can't.
That's it. Yeah. And that for me, that
snookers you. That snookers you, because the senior clubs, I think, as far as I'm aware, go and cherry pick a few of the best, and then that weakens the teams and then they don't play in the big team.
So you look at
they're a sub in the big team.
Yeah.
You know, so the star players went for the wee team, they're sub in the big team. And you lose interest. It's a hard one.
It's tough.
Nephew played for Montrose under 17s, and they would be getting boys coming to play for him. Oh, he played for Dundee, he played for United, he failed at Aberdeen, because they've picked so much players and then they've built all these players up and then they just release them. And that's not helping us. There's boys there that's played football, been released by likes of Dundee United, and they're then going to this other club. They've still got a lot to give, but we need to make sure that if they are released, that they've got something to ging to keep it going, because even then you can still become a great player and offer something.
I don't know what the answer is.
Well, we've got an answer. No answer to
A
it.
man that has cracked it though, is sitting over there. Just want to touch a little bit on some of your career highlights and things like that as well, Rab, if that's okay. You've done no bad as a player.
It was a late starter.
Because you didn't go like
21. I started part time.
What were you doing before that?
I was a brickie. I was a retained fireman. Didn't drive, and I used to go to Meadowbank. Used to go home at midnight, but I wanted to do it. First year I didn't enjoy it at Meadowbank. I'll no lie. I wasn't playing. There was 3 goalies. Jim McQueen was the number 1. Jimmy did his testimonial. Steve Ellison came in. Old Tam McLaren and Murray McDermott took us and as the goalie coaches. And I went in and trained. It was Donald Park and George Mackett signed us. Ellie took over. Jim Kinney, I think Jim retired actually, was number 2. I'll never forget, Ellie had a poor game up here and I thought, I might be playing next. We beat 5-1 in my debut down at Queen of the South. But welcome to senior football. And I still wasn't sure, wasn't settled. And then I thought, sink or swim. It's either go back and play junior or amateur with my pals or have a crack at it. And I just thought, you know what, you've made the effort, you've got the... I went in, I wasn't the most talented, but I was last off the training pitch. I just wanted it that wee bit. So Meadowbank was my kind of launch pad. Had a few managers there, and we moved to Livingston with Laois, and I kind of kicked off from there. I went to, did well with Laois. They had a few full-time players, a kind of hybrid squad again.
Right, okay.
We signed the 2 Barbadians, Horace and Dave. So Horace came in as a goalie, and I get dropped. So I never forget it. And every time I see Jim Leishman, I go and tell him I was in 25 quid a week. This is my partner. So I went, chapped Jim Leishman's door and I says, I'll make you eat your words. So I made him eat his words. So I went to Dundee for 60 grand and a 40 grand player. But I got back in the team at Livingston and never looked back, and that was me. Roy Baines took us as a goalie coach as well then. Billy Thompson came and watched us at Livingston, and Cowboy McCormick signed us for Dundee, and then that was me. Dundee to Celtic, Celtic to Leicester, Leicester back to Dundee, Dundee to Forfar,
Under Dick.
Forfar to Arbroath, 1 game wonder. I had a few loans as well. I was at Millwall for a month, Wickham for a couple of months, played 3 times, played 7 or 8 for Millwall, and I had a 1 game for Paul Sturrock down at Plymouth against Bristol. So that was me, but absolute brilliant. Jesus. 600 odd games for a wee daft boy for Lanark.
You skimmed over Celtic pretty quickly there.
Oh no, listen. Celtic's a big one where you go and win things, and you know that's the one that people associate you with as well, and that was unbelievable. You know, to think. I remember signing for Dundee. I was with my hands and knees laying blocks and flat at New Lanark Hotel, internal walls, and I'd heard Dundee were in for us for 30 grand. I says to one of the boys in the fire, we're going to shout the fire engine. I says, Dundee are maybe in for something. Shut up. And we ended up going and we won the championship that year, so it was brilliant, absolutely. Just a late starter, and the 2 things I wanted to do was play senior football and play for Scotland, and I managed both. So my mum passed away when Dundee were in administration, 2010, and her and my dad did everything for us as a kid. They were involved with the boys team, Gayfield and Lanark, and so I managed to put a Scotland cap in my mum's coffin, so that was a big one for me. That was payback for my mum. So
what was your highlight at Celtic?
Getting to the UEFA Cup final, obviously. We probably a step too far. Bobo and I get stick, but every other game we won as a club, you know, as a team. Bobo and I got a bit of stick for the final. Henrik was exceptional, but just as a team we were probably just under. Beating Liverpool and Blackburn because they both thought they'd done enough when they came up to Celtic.
Blackburn wankers.
But absolute
Blackburn.
Celtic Park.
That was Souness, wasn't it? When he said
men against boys.
Did you know somebody would put it on the wall in the dressing room or something?
We've had all that. It's but it was great to get in there and turn them over. I was a Liverpool fan as well, and King Kenny was my hero growing up. King Kenny, and believe it or not, Neville Southall was my goalkeeping hero growing up. He wasn't a showman. He just kept it out of the net. And going to Anfield and getting a clean sheet, thought, not bad, that'll do me. So,
was there any truth to the rumour that Rangers actually came in for you before Celtic?
Yeah, Rangers were in just before, and I was told I would play 6 games. Stephen Kloss was injured. One of them was, or 1 or 2 were Champions League. I would play 6 games, then I'd be in the bench.
Right.
And I went and met Martin O'Neill, and he says, it's down to you and Goldie. You get the gloves. I'd played 130. I'd played 70 odd, 80 games for Meadowbank and Livingston. I'd played 130 for Dundee. I wanted to play, and to be honest, my agent Blair Morgan for Fermer, I don't know if you know Blair. Blair says, Robert, I'll make more money if you go to Rangers. He says, if you want to play, go to Celtic. I went to Celtic. Blair was brilliant that way. Absolutely.
Pretty honest
what
agent.
Great. You know, most agents would just fire you in and say, go there, you'll make more money, I'll make more money. But listen, 3 SPLs at Celtic wasn't bad, and 3 Scottish Cups and a UEFA Cup final. So great times.
No complaints.
Great times.
Well, obviously the fans don't like each other when it's Rangers and Celtic, but what is it like with the other players? Are you actually pals off field, or is there a bit of rivalry?
Probably in that era,
time?
not so much. You kind of kept yourselves to you would acknowledge them. But see now, you know, playing tournaments and that, the Scotland, the Star Sixes and that were brilliant. We Fergie and that, they're great. You know, the Rangers and Celtic boys, Charlie Miller, all them. Just you got on. You know, we played in that tournament down in London and Glasgow, and we were a boy that ran its favourite team, and he was English, you know, so it just shows you what kind of but the boys all got on great, you know. We stuck together as a team. We went and did, they asked two to coach, Terry has coached, they asked us to go and meet the Grenfell Tower residents and Ollie has went, we did everything as a team just to make it, you know, make the effort, and it was great that way. And you would have a beer with them, you know, you have a beer with them after the tournaments now. So
is that an emotional thing, going to the Grenfell?
They came to us, they came to the tournament, but obviously it was still pretty numbing, it was, so, but it just shows you the kind of spirit in the Scotland squad alone, so that was it.
I've got another question on Celtic, and obviously you've been kicked to death on this one, but the bust up in the tunnel with Bobo.
Oh, big Bobo, aye.
Is he, what was he like? Just a maniac?
Mental. This story does
He's a big lad, like.
Oh, a big lump. He's not as big now, actually. Last time I met him, I was actually bigger than him. But there was one of the games he caused a goal. I was in the bench, I think. Magnus must have fancied playing that day, actually, right? I was in the bench. So Lenny's come in and slaughtered Bobo, and Bobo says, "You allowed to swear on here?"
Ah, yeah. There you go. Especially in context.
Shut up, Lenny. Right. So Petrov comes in and says, "Bobo, you cause it Bobo." And Bobo says, "Stan, shut up." Stan kept going, "I'm not joking you." So there was Big Terry Geno, the goalie coach, Magnus, Jim Henry, the fitness coach, myself, trying to hold Bobo back. Tomo jumps in his locker. It was that big. The lockers at Celtic Park were massive. Tomo jumps in the locker because Bobo's trying to get to Stan. John Robertson, 2 European Cups, flipped over the treatment table. Bobo was going to kill him. But in the tunnel, it kicked off. Motley elbowed him just before half time. You seen Bobo, you knew it. And obviously, being the goalie, I'm walking off going, I've got a clean sheet here at half time against Barcelona. This is great. I'm going. Next minute, there's a stramash in the tunnel, and wee Cocu for Barcelona's going, he's mental, he's crazy. And I'm trying to get in between. Next minute, wee Jackie comes in and goes, Rab, you're off. Fucking shit. Never got to play in the Nou Camp. And Big Marcia has the game of his life, has his world of his life, and keeps us out of the team.
That's set him up.
Now Bobo's in green and white hoops. I've got these big white glove things on. And
there's also another big difference.
Yeah. Big Bobo, but honestly, you couldn't make it up. It was mayhem in the tunnel. I think it was a home win anyway in the tunnel as well.
You got through them. So.
It's just
Pretty famous one.
You still want to play in the Nou Camp.
Oh God!
Cheers, Bobo.
If we were to cover every dust up that you've had, whether it's players or fans, we'd be here all day. So I just want you to be quite good.
On about managers, going back a bit further, Bertie Vos, you played under him, didn't you?
Great.
Was he good? Because you hear a lot of different stories.
I think I'd been in Scotland squads for years with Craig Brown. Alan May and I were kind of in
Shagger.
and out. So Alan May or Bruni. Main and I were brought in as the kind of understudies to Gouldy and Sully at the time, working with Hodgie. It was great, and Jim Stewart came in as well with Bertie. But Craig's, who was one of Scotland's most successful managers, but when you look at that, was an aging squad, you know. So Bertie basically had to wipe the slate clean and start again. I loved him. And I fell out. I missed my daughter's birth. We were over in Paris playing a friendly, and I was rooming with Sully. And Sully wasn't 100% fit. He had a hip injury. We were rooming, and next minute I get the phone. Mrs. is going into labour. So wee Brookie was born at 3 in the morning, but Scotland had said they would get us home, and then I was led to believe I was getting a half, and I didn't get the half. So I didn't get home and I didn't get a cap. So pretty pissed off. A little bit, yeah. So Bertie and I had words, and Bertie and I hit it off after that. And it was, I think it was at the airport, and probably wasn't the right time or place, but you're so disappointed and frustrated, no getting a cap, no getting home, missing your daughter's birth. And Bertie and I hit it off after that. I don't know if it's because he'll stand up for himself and his beliefs or whatever, but that was another one. But top man, he did great. Just
decent manager,
decent manager. He had to wipe the slate clean, and then probably that was the peak Scotland team from then till the Euros. There, I would have said Craig Brown's, and Bertie had to deal with the kind of aftermath of all the younger ones. And you've got to try people with a granny who's Scottish who can enhance the team.
Because he did try a few, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh, he got slaughtered for the amount. I think it was about 40. But listen, you've got to try it.
Just what you're touching on, not getting a cap, I don't know the answer to this. Is there a certain number of minutes you've got to play to get a cap, or somebody even coming on for 1 minute gets a cap?
In the old days it was, if you play in friendlies you get a cap for the season. If you play in a competitive game, it's like Scotland versus West Germany on the cap. So in a competitive game you get a cap.
Right. So you could just literally come on for a couple of minutes and you'd get one.
Mine, on a similar thing with the World Cup medals, you didn't get a World Cup medal unless you actually played in the final. You didn't get a winner's medal, because Pelé historically didn't get a medal for 3 years. Was that the 70s? I think he didn't get. No, it was. Wait a minute. The year he got injured, that would have been 68 or 60.
Oh, when he booed after
66. In England.
He got to hell, didn't he?
But they didn't win that year. And it was in the years the thing he didn't get a medal because he didn't. He played in other games, but he missed.
Come on, what years did they win? 58, 70?
58, 62.
Come on, Rab.
58, 62 and 70.
I wasn't even born for
58, 62. So they did the same with the World Cup medals. Just thought I'd throw that in. Well, Pellé's the highlight. Let's keep it topical. Pellé's the highlights.
That's true.
Who's your best ever on that subject? Best footballer ever? Because Pellé's passed away yesterday, so everybody's saying.
I was too young for Pelé. Probably Maradona.
You're Maradona
I think
guy.
Maradona was just unique. It seems
I
to
have
be,
the argument with my kids at the
it's
time.
generations, isn't it? It's Pelé, then it's Maradona. Then you've got a wee gap. Then you're probably Messi at the moment, but in between would be debatable, but I think those are non-debatable.
As soon as they won the World Cup, I got a text from my sons. Well, he's the best now, isn't he? Because he got his World Cup, and I'm like, nah, still Maradona.
It's never put England out, so he's not the best.
You got inducted into the Dundee Hall of Fame, didn't you?
Yeah.
So you get quite a good reception, presumably.
I've got a great rapport with the Dundee fans. I always have for some reason. I think the fact was, when I signed both times I moved up, I couldn't handle the travelling. That wasn't for me.
Right.
Horrible. So I moved up, and when you buy into it, it's great, and you get invited to supporters clubs nights out and things like that. Dave Rogers and myself and boys like that, absolute Gavin Rain, Barry Smith. I think you can embed yourself into it. It's great.
How long have you been up here now?
My second spell, I think we've been back here 13 years, and I think it was about 4 or 5 the first time. So I've actually been away from home as much as I've been back in Lanark, so that's it balances out. But a couple of years down in Glasgow and a couple of years in Leicester, and then back up here. So
big commitment to live in Dundee, yeah.
It's very.
He's the outskirts, not to be fair. He's almost a country loon.
I'm on the posh side.
Who's your actual closest mate in football then, would you say?
In football, I've kept in touch with Foxy a lot. Probably Barry Smith.
Right.
Barry Smith at Dundee. He just lives round the corner. He's back for Canada now. He's coaching for, is it York United? New York United? York United in Canada.
Alright.
So Barry's assistant manager over there, so he's home now. So
Canada's got a lot of good players at the moment. They were really impressed in the World Cup.
They're loving it.
I think they're progressing as well. Size of country, they should do. But Barry, I would say Barry Smith's probably the one who I keep in touch with most. Great man, great football man. He did that Dundee administration period. He was unbelievable.
Right. Okay.
So even then, Pat Linney, who's just passed away, we beat their record of 20 odd games unbeaten. Pat's first in the dressing room shaking everybody's hands. Come on, boys, with a cup of tea and a cigarette, and just great.
You do an awful lot for charity, don't you?
I do a fair bit, Fermer. I do a bit. My pal died of cancer, 25. So that's him been passed as long as he's been. So his mum says I don't want him to forget him. So we've raised 416 grand for the Beatson in Glasgow. So we do well. We have a golf day and a ball and a Christmas parties and fundraisers. So that's great. Just, I think when you realise when Mrs. Cowan says don't want anybody to forget Gordon, and then you realise that probably we golfed for about 16 years, golf for a trophy for a couple of years, and then one year we went, we'll have a go and raise some money. I think the first year we raised 6 grand. Last year we were probably about 45. So it's mental,
Brilliant.
And the queue for the golf day, and it's a Monday down at Lanark. It's a great course, but we have about 7 or 8 teams in the waiting list. It's demands for it.
Well, if you need a master of ceremonies, there's one there. He's got form.
Oh, he's banned for that. Or he's banned for the grey goose.
By everyone, to be fair. By everyone. I've got a question from my wife.
Whoa, do you want? Oh, is it for Rab?
For Rab. It's not for Fermer this time. She goes, are your legs no freezing? Because she's never seen you with brakes on outside there.
Whoa!
Might sound daft. I'll say to the boys, I'll wear shorts because you wear shorts. Just superstitious, just always want to be out there with the boys.
At least they're running about. You're having
Do you know,
to
it's
stand
not my
there and
legs,
all the
it's my feet.
elements.
It's always my feet. And to be fair, the wife last year got us those heated socks with the wee batteries.
Oh, aye.
So,
You can't have
well,
Where do the batteries go?
hold on to now, you didn't let me finish. Let me finish. So I had a look at them, charged them up, put them on. I thought, I can't wear them. They look like tags.
No, the
So
watch.
they've never been on. They've never been on. So I just settle with the cold feet.
Debs, get them on eBay.
A wee tip for a Fermer, a plastic bag on. A plastic bag.
Just on cold feet, is AstroTurf as cold as they say?
I don't know, but it's bloody cold out there anyway. I think it's the leather in the boots. Recently I've worn my trainers a couple of times just to see if that makes any difference, and I would say it's actually, I think it's the leather in the boots that make your feet go as cold. Mind you look at the boys' boots now, they're like
Just get Ugg boots or something, you'll be fine.
Here, it's a bugbear of mine, and everybody seems to do it. What do you make of these boys cutting the feet off their socks?
You want to be that again?
Every week we ask somebody
Why
that.
does somebody not just make the right socks?
Well, I don't understand. All these sportswear companies pay millions and then Bobby cuts the socks. And then if Messi cuts the socks, if Messi cut the back of the calves, everybody would start cutting the back of the calves. Or if Messi cut a bit in the shin pad, they'd all do it. I don't quite get it.
Wouldn't happen in your day.
No. Jesus. Black boots only.
Oh, see, we've got so much in common, and you can.
Snoods, gloves, nah, you can't do
I
that.
tell you what, I love seeing away teams come up here, because see when they come out with the jackets on and the wet tops and the snoods and the hats and the gloves, you know they don't fancy it.
Aye.
We played a team here last year in the championship, and it was a wild day. I'm not going to say the team. It was a wild day, windy and rain, and they were out in the warm up, and you see, we'll turn him over, and we did. But it's great when you see him, or when you watch a goalie and they try to kick and he's no accomplished kicker.
I could see this is going to hit legs like I'll have to get practicing.
It's happening.
You better get in the leg press, Fermer.
Oh, very well. Okay, what I'm doing, I can go home this afternoon.
I want to ask us, since it's a serious question. You touched on the fact that you managed to put the Scotland cap for your mum. How much of an influence on your career was she? Because I don't think she ever got to see you live. She
always recorded games. Would never. My dad used to come and watch us. Even the night the boy ran on the pitch at Tannadice, I knew it was all right because my dad was in the crowd and he's a big lump. But I did all right myself that night. But my mum would never ever watch a game live. She recorded it and would watch it later. And I always remember we played, it was under 15s or something. I got the new Jim Leighton Royce goalie gloves, 20 quid out of Lanark Sports Shop, the latex palms, proper. This was my first big pair. So you're talking 35 years ago, 20 quid. Played in a an ash pitch down at East Kilbride, looked at them, wrecked. Went home that night, looked at my mum, she's got holes in the soles of her shoes. You know, that's the sacrifice your parents make, and that was it. That was it. You know, we weren't a wealthy family. We got by, and that was it. But as long as we had boots and gloves are the best. Me and my brother, that was, and my dad used to do the pitches as well. You weren't allowed in the Goldsmiths. He was kind of farming background, so Kirkfield's pitches were 2 old army barracks pitches at Lanark, stunning. And my dad and Gordon, who would do the fundraiser for his dad, and my dad were the kind of
They were booner.
They would cut the pitch, line it, returf the Goldsmith and that. But within 20 yards, honestly, my dad was like a sniffer dog. Even I never went in the goals during the games.
This will go out at New Year, so I don't know whether to call it a New Year special, a Hogmanay special. We'll go with New Year special.
I'm doing it, so it'll be Easter special.
Easter special.
Make sure you send the right one then.
Hogmanay.
3 people you'd like to first foot with, or go on first foot. We used to ask people 5 names, but
3.
I'll be honest, a lot
Kenny
of boys have
Dalglish.
struggled with that. Oh, good one.
Hero.
Maybe he's aye, maybe he's no.
Kevin Bridges
All right.
and Mike Tyson.
Mike.
That's a controversial.
That's a combination.
You two out in the bevy.
So he's got to be a comedian. He's got to be a
Mike Tyson.
comedian who could upset fucking Mike Tyson will be able to
Back
battle
up.
them. And Kenny Dalglish.
Kenny Dalglish, all-time hero. I actually remember getting my picture taken with in Glasgow. I think it was at Leicester at the time. We were in one of James Waters' places. We lived behind James in Boswell. I says, Mr. Dalglish, can I get a picture, please? He says, in you come, Rab. I was like, to Debbie.
He knows my
Fucking
name.
knows my name. Brilliant. Hero. Absolute hero. I think Kenny Dalglish, the only other person I've asked was Tom Watson for a picture, who was
Golfer.
Oh,
Right.
met him at Gleneagles one time. He was a gentleman as well, so they guys are
Did
just...
he know your name?
No. I'll tell you what though, we won the golf that day, so he knew that.
Some of those pictures, you know, whether we call it famously or infamously, you've got the bar at home,
Yes.
studs and stilettos, you've got huge memorabilia,
Yes.
memorabilia up there. Can't even say that word, you know that? Are they up there? You got Tom and Kenny, and who else you got up there?
I've got Kenny up there, I've got Mike Tyson, we've got Oliver Cahn's shirt, match worn, we've got Buffon's Seville shirt, Jersey Dudek, Men Against Boys, Liverpool. Blackburn, Brad Friedel's,
Alright.
Peter Schmeichel's, Peter Cech's, Casillas, Real Madrid, Figo's Real Madrid shirt, but I saved a penalty for Scotland against Figo, so that's how I got. Somebody managed to get us that. The boy Javier Terro that played with Dundee, he was at Real Madrid as a kid, so he got us that as a present for saving Figo's. Yep. Who else? Victor Valdez. Before I get fucking sent off. Dalglish. I'm trying to think. Fabian Barthez.
That was one of my questions.
Was it?
Right.
What was that?
Who was the opposition goalkeeper?
Valdez.
Valdez,
So it just shows you.
Is there space in the wall for Smokies and Wine?
I'll tell you the picture of Graham Black's picture he gave me for my 50th of the gaffer, Pink Youngie and myself when we got the trophy out here.
Oh, aye.
Pink's hanging off us. That's up in Studs now.
So the one that we'll get later going
Yeah,
right next to
that'll
it.
go.
You'll sign it, man. You'll be fine.
Yeah. I'll get it round the pole.
Is there a pole there? Is
Yes.
Now,
Honestly, right.
Mate, you can gyrate on it. It's fine.
I've got one move. I can get upside down and that's it. I'm no.
we need a video of this.
No, absolutely not.
I'm thinking we'll leave that like.
There's some rules. Is there some weird rules
Yes.
that you've got in the bar?
There's
Tell us
no
the
weird,
rules.
no hanging down jeans at the arse
Right.
and no trainers.
Is that it?
And it doesn't really shut to be
No
honest.
trainers, is that because of the glass dance floor?
No. I don't go into a pub wearing trainers. I always wear dress shoes when I get, or shoes of some standard. I very, very rarely get wearing trainers. So you're not coming in my pub wearing trainers. And if you do come in, you get the wife's slippers or the wife's high heels or a pair of my size 11s.
I'm wearing trainers then.
There's always one, isn't there?
I'll be sending you
Absolutely.
a bit of a request for them anyway. You're an absolute idiot, man. Size 11s will be alright for me.
When Dundee won the Alba Cup, we were 2-0 down against Inverness. We won 3-2. Next door neighbour Dave, great Dundee fans, Dave and Karen, so says to Dave, bring a couple of your pals back. So we were all in there, Jockey, wee Griffiths, Gary Harkins, the full team, about 50 in the wee double garage, right, or bar or whatever you call it. And Dave comes up with his 2 pals. Steve, trainers on. I get them off, so he's got the wife's slippers on. So I goes out, wee Sparky's off, flinging his trainers over the fence. Came the next night, they're sitting on top of the bin. Came back for it.
Never shuts, eh?
That's the kind of
Open all
pub.
hours.
That's the kind of pub I
Absolutely.
like, aye. Open all hours. I'll tell you, it was three quick names there compared to. Remember, we're still waiting, and Bobby Lynn's
Bobby's still struggling. Bobby's still struggling.
Disaster.
Bobby
couldn't even name five out the game for a drink. Not even heroes.
I would probably love to have had Pele or Maradona if it was going to a 5 just for an add-in. But no, King Kenny's still.
George Best would be a good debut.
I think I'd shut studs for him.
That'd be alright.
Who's your favourite goalie?
Currently
And of all time.
I like
say
Becker.
then.
I like Becker. I think Becker's done brilliant for Liverpool. I think all time was Neville Southall without a shadow of a doubt.
Right, so he was your hero.
But I grew up a Liverpool fan, and it was between Grobler and Clements at the time. Shilton was great as well, but I mean, and I think you look, my other all time probably hero would be Buffon.
Right.
I think just because he played at such a high level for so many years, he didn't drop down the leagues.
Has he stopped yet, or is he still going?
I think he stopped last year or
I
something.
think he stopped
Is
last,
he not in
but
France or
he was obviously played against him with Celtic in Scotland, and he was I just think he's one of the top. Kept the weight off. He's still been comfy with the ball. I just think he's magnificent. But Neville Southall was just the old school goalie.
You'll made a big fan. We've got a couple of listeners doing in Liverpool.
Or just in general?
Oh well, no, they're doing in Liverpool, and they come up. I think you met them in Liston. They come up every now and then,
right,
to watch Arbroath play, and he's a massive Everton fan. Actually, me and Beach has been doing to watch them sometime this season,
right, okay.
And he's Neville Southall's his hero. So big Jimmy Carter, there's your shout out for you, Luke. So there you go. I've got to do all these things.
There you go, Jimmy.
in for a free ticket.
Oh well, no, they come up, and I think they were in hospitality the last time, and it was Rab. They were on about Rab, so good show.
You're on about Becker there, but his positional sense, he just seems to be in the right place
Unbelievable.
every time. It's crazy.
It's funny because
Makes it look so easy.
Schmeichel, can he change the goalkeeping thing, the way he spreads himself and that? And you look at him now, there's very few saves actually they use their hands now.
It's true.
Need to try that one myself sometime when I start training again.
Come back.
Just on the training, because I'm presuming you're not putting them through fitness drills, that's just done in general, but what specific things do you work on then with the keepers?
We had a wee young boy coming in for St John's there for a while, and it was actually makes training more enjoyable just because it's another number. I sometimes join in whenever, but we'll do crossing, we'll do position, we'll do fitness stuff. It just depends if we've got a game, how long I've got them. Sometimes the gaffer and Pink and Youngie will say, and Kevin, 20 minutes and we're into shooting, or 20 minutes we're into a game, or 20 minutes and we're into crossing and finishing. It just some nights I'll get 40, 50 minutes where I can get a good session with them. We can do a reasonable warm up, then go into specific stuff, that suits match related for Gats and Cammy.
Yeah. And
what I try and do is I ask Cammy to maybe do another set or two, just because he's not playing a Saturday like Gats, and Cammy is an absolute great pro,
Good
just
grafter.
gets on with it. And to be fair, even Gats, they've got them, if they drop one they'll go and do another one. They're quite happy. They're just good pros, and that's all you can ask for as a goalie coach. And sometimes when I join in, if I drop one, I've got to do 5 press-ups as well, so it's part and parcel, but I need to get back into training myself. So
Goalies are meant to be
After
nutters. What are they still like?
with
They're
two
always-
touches, getting naughty in the 2 touch actually. Cammy is probably better than me and Gats put together, but we'll address that in the new year. I actually win my fair share. I don't know if you see before the games in the warm up, 2 touch, so you get 4 lives. One is a swear word and then you're out below head height. But Cammy's both feet, he's very, very good at it. So we'll wait and see.
we always have a wee quiz at the end of this. We've got the resident quizmaster
And I
Jamie
get
here,
ripped because the questions are shit, apparently. But that's alright.
and today will be no different.
To be, it'll be no
So I can
different.
rip him.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 5 questions. He shoots, he scores. Today it'll be he shoots, he saves.
So it's a penalty shootout. 5. So you ready? Look at that poker face. Absolute poker face. Right. Question 1.
I hope he does a grobbler on you.
I know. Question 1. What is a decent cement to sand ratio when building a secure wall in Fermer's sex dungeon?
I'm looking at the tonnage here, so it might be a wee bit. I'd probably go 3 to 1.
Bang on, mate, bang on. There you go.
Tonnage.
Reinforced.
A good save.
Yeah, that is a good save.
Question 2. In the 2001 UEFA Cup penalty shootout against Valencia, in which you had a fantastic game, name 2 of the 3 Celtic players who missed their kicks in the 5-4 sudden death loss.
Candy. The King.
Aye.
Henrik.
Yep, he's one of them.
Jos Volharen.
Well done. I didn't think
Jos Volharen missed it and asked the ref if he could take it again. He was that bad.
and he missed it again. Well done. Who was the other one? You got the question, but who's
Was
the
it
other one?
Petrov?
Well done. 3 of them, yeah. 2 saves.
Hey, boys doing well.
The cat's on for him. Here's a struggle. So I'll give you, if you get within 2 or 3 right on this one. How many appearances did you make for Leicester City? Oof. Cup, league, everything.
Early 30s.
Oh, good. Give you that.
34.
35.
And I got about 7 managers a sack. That was manager of the month every day down there. Absolute mental. Craig Levine, Nigel Worthington, Rob Kelly, Ian Holloway, Martin Allen.
Ian Holloway's a loon, isn't he?
And oh god, one more. He was Notts Forest manager. Can't mind.
Brian
I was
Clough.
on loan at I was on loan at Millwall at the time anyway, but he did well, that's the training. But there you go. About 7 managers.
Craig Levine, was it?
Craig Levine,
Was it
aye.
5-5 the way he was playing?
Do you know what? We had a lot of Scottish boys, and I think Leicester had been paying absolute fortunes, and then it dipped. I don't think the resources were there, and they signed a load of us. Craig Levine came down, signed a load of Scottish boys, and the other clubs' budgets were massive compared to us, and we just struggled. I played the first season, then I tore my thigh, and Hendo did brilliant, and I never got back in. So that was it.
Question 4.
Was that? Did I get a point for that?
No. Question 4.
No,
So
that's
you got
okay.
the point. You got the point for the
Why not?
35. You didn't get an extra point for all the added info.
Right, okay.
Question 4. Right, this didn't happen, but I'm going to ask you anyway. If you got on the pitch for Arbroath against Morton in April 2021, at the age of 49, what ranking of oldest players ever in global football would you have been? 7th, 17th, or 27th?
7th, and I'm still in the huff.
That's mental, like. You'd been the 7th oldest ever. It's
Why are you
crazy.
still in the huff?
Because he
So
didn't
they
go
were
on.
on.
Oh, right.
He was wondering about, same, he was wondering about, nothing was on.
I tried the old soccer AM warm up in front of them and everything.
We actually thought he was coming on.
Well, do you know what happened? The thing is, and I said to the gaffer and Pink after, I said, you got to remember, it's alright saying you're going to give me 5 minutes. If Cammy or Antel, whoever was playing, or Gats, gets sent off in 3 minutes, I'm on for 87, no matter whether it's a fat cat or no, you're stuck with me. Unless you're going to put Bobby Lynn in goal.
Davey, go
Was
again.
that 484 so
4
far?
out of
Thank
4.
you.
And you just mentioned Bobby there. So question 5. Who's taller, Messi or Arbroath Messi Lynn?
They're both short on corner flags. I'm going to say Bobby Lynn's taller.
Ooh. Bobby Lynn is 5'7", and Messi is, trick question, 5'7". They're the same. There you go.
Is that 4 out of 5 then?
4 out of 5. You tricked him at the end.
Trick question at the end doesn't count.
In fairness, I let it stick up for him here. The answer's the same, so he has to get that.
We'll give everything anyway, don't we, on this? 5 out of 5.
I think it's
Thank
5
you,
out
very
of 5.
kind,
Well
very
done.
kind.
And as for elaborating on the questions, you know what's the chase? They always elaborate with a wee bit of more. They didn't just give the answer.
That was Brad. He just didn't get an extra point for it.
Who was oh God! that
Well
was-
done there, Rab.
Who was the Leicester manager? Gary.
7 managers. That's brilliant. Like.
It's not been mentioned yet, but you called him the king, and there's only one
That's
other
how we
person
still
you've
get
called
to
the
play
king.
for
Kerry.
Arbroath.
What was Henrik Larsson like as a person? Obviously, he's an amazing footballer, but what was he like off the pitch?
He was more subdued and listen, you don't go to Man U and Barcelona and Celtic and Sweden and do it all these levels. It's no a fluke at Celtic, and folk can say the league and that, but he went to other places.
Oh, absolutely, great player.
Unbelievable, great professional training that as well.
On a night out though, was he quieter one night? I take it,
right. But in training, Jesus,
that's by Rab's standards so quiet.
Even when I was at Dundee, his movement, his free kicks, penalties, he in the air he could hang. He different in his game.
He loved playing pool as well at Park.
Coming back, well, used to be a pool table in the green room.
Him and Lambert used to go toe to toe or something. Did you ever?
Lambert was good as well.
Did you ever wedge yourself in there?
No, I was more a pub pool player. Henry was good at golf as well. They were, it's all the boys are kind of
Sporting.
Oh, he played that Swedish game, didn't he, with a stick or something? He was really good.
No?
Something like that. He was really good at that, apparently.
pass.
He was part professional at that or something.
Really?
So,
did he not have an option?
There's a Scandinavian game to play with a stick or something.
Did he have that option before he played football?
I think it was something like that.
He was one of the boys that had that option, and he chose
just good
football.
at everything, I think. Sporty lad, eh?
We're going to finish before we say thank you for coming on. Stupid little game because it's the New Year special. Okay, it's a film game here, so.
Last film I watched was Jaws, I think.
Brilliant. Well, that'll be in there, don't worry. That'll be in there.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
You get to choose whether you get to guess who the films are, or you can be the person that's given us the clue for the film. So do you want to be the...
So you can be Bradley Walsh.
You want to be the giver or the taker, basically, Rab?
I'll be the quiz master.
He's a giver. Well, we'll better say we've got to want to be big, Rab.
How this works, and we've got to be careful in this day and age on this, but there is a film quotation, okay?
Right.
Don't know what it'll be. In fact, we'll shuffle them up.
How many are we doing?
This has got absolute disaster.
This has got disaster written all over it, okay? So, what you'll read out the quote.
Yes.
We've got to guess what the film is.
Right, okay.
However, with these ones, you've also got to do the quote in whatever the accent is on this card.
You take the piss.
We're hoping to.
I'm hoping there's some dog.
We'll all have a go. How about we'll make it fair? We'll all have a go. I don't know what the accent will be. We've just shuffled them, so.
What the hell?
So am I getting this? He's got to read out the quote in the accent.
The accent.
Yeah, okay.
So we've got to try and guess what the film is from whatever it is he tells us.
In case I forgot to tell you later, I had a really good time tonight.
I know that.
Whiskey galore.
No, I know that.
Yes, I forget.
Oh, you've sat and read every question.
No.
In case I forget it.
I just meant I know the accent.
I mean, what was the accent out of curiosity? It's no Welsh.
I'm guessing Italian.
No. I was thinking he sounded more like a boy off of Whiskey Galore of Walton Islands.
I know.
I think you're very close.
All right.
Spanish.
What's next?
No,
Italy?
you're on the money.
All right. Italy.
That's very close then.
I've no idea the film.
I've got no idea.
Come on, Fermer, what's the film?
He had a very good time.
It's probably something like Love Actually or some bish.
No,
It's some lovey-dovey.
I'm going to go Bridget Jones' Diary.
No, you're both close, but you're nowhere.
4 wins.
No prizes.
You're close, but you're not right.
Come on,
It's like
right.
time's money here, guys. Suits is on at the darts.
Absolutely.
Pretty Women 1990.
We'll do one each and then we'll call it. And then we'll go and watch
I would have
Suits.
gotten that. Well,
Oh, Jesus. Fermer's got poker face on now.
Jesus Christ.
But Rab's accent was so good.
Right, okay. Away, man, the luck is gone, the brain. I can't do that.
Is that Chifter still?
What's
Away,
that?
man, the luck is gone, the brain. I can't do a Geordie accent.
You're kind of giving it away there.
I thought it was Jamaican.
That's exactly what I
That was
thought.
cool runnings.
Wait, man, the luck is gone, the brain is shot, but the liquor was still got.
Oh, it's Cocktail.
You checked it out.
I didn't know that one.
Whoa, sorry.
How can you guess that from my accent?
That was
Tom
a
Cruise.
Geordie-
That's a Tom Cruise when he's in the bar.
And that was a Geordie accent.
Tom Cruise.
That was Geordie.
That's brilliant. Like.
Geordie Jamaican.
That is brilliant.
Me? He just gave me one, didn't he?
No, it's alright. It's not so easy.
No, it's not. Pressure.
You make it banned.
I think so, yeah.
what's she having?
That is. That's. Oh God.
What's she having?
Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan in the restaurant.
Oh, aye. When Harry met Sally.
That's the
Boom.
And it's Chinese.
What's that? Japanese. I didn't really know how to do the
Well,
difference.
I was going to say the boy off Hangover. You sounded like a wee bit of the camp.
All right. Oh, aye.
I can't do accents. I don't know what I'm doing.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Well, the accent, and I got a clue.
That's a war film, isn't it? That's
Aye, I'd seen in the Vietnamese. God almighty, Good Morning Vietnam.
No.
Oh well, it must be the other evening.
Yeah. Apocalypse Now.
Apocalypse Now.
What was the accent?
It was Dundee.
I think so.
Mexican.
What was it, Rab? Mexico got in there.
Mexican.
Arriba.
That's not so easy that to get an accent. You've got fair play to these boys that can do it just like that.
It was JB. So
Bet
good
Paul
at it.
Reid would be good at this.
Oh, I knew he would be. Aye.
Aye, he'd be good at the Geordie one.
Oh, Wiedersehen. He loves a bit of Wiedersehen.
Big Oz.
Right, we all know that we're wanting to go and watch Suits. I think he's on round about 1:45, 2
Something
o'clock.
like that, yeah.
So, Rab, thank you so much for coming on. It's been brilliant having you here.
Thank you,
Thanks
Rab.
for taking the time to come out and getting through the flood as well.
Thank you very much.
For everyone else, hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you on Monday for the Dundee game. Good night, God bless.
See you later, guys.